Rachmaninoff, Haskell, this small, well-dressed child, all of the great pianists have had something in common. They have all been very good at playing the piano. So it follows that, for you to be considered as one of the great pianists of all time, you must also learn to play the piano very well. And that's why we're here today. I, the eminently late General Matthew Weldon, will be talking you through the subtle art of learning how to play your piano. Over the course of the next 72 lessons, we will not only be looking at how to play your piano, but why you should play your piano, where you should play your piano, when you should play your piano, and indeed, most importantly, whether you should play your piano. But first, some history. Ever since its discovery in the late 13th century, the piano has been considered an instrument of some concern. Initially, pianists were not to be consorted with, but maligned, mistrusted and laughed at, because they were called pianists. Recently, however, thanks to the success of the genre reggae, being a piano player has been a much more acceptable affair. Exactly which class of instrument the piano belongs to has been a source of controversy, though several studies conducted in the 1980s cleared the matter up. And since then, the piano has, in all orchestras, found itself in the brass section, beside the trombonists and the saxophonists. There are, however, many compositions that are available for playing on the piano. We shall be honing, practicing and perfecting almost all of these over the course of the next 96 lessons. Right, fine, we'll start. Now, the first piece of advice that I'm going to be giving you in this short series of videos on how to play the piano is exactly the same piece of advice that I gave you back in my previous video, How to Swim with Matthew Weldon. Now, of course, that means that we will be ignoring the keys. The more athletic among you will remember that that video was removed from YouTube after the death of all those children, but I think in this instance it is actually a fairly solid piece of advice. In actual fact, ignoring the keys and playing the piano by the strings was recommended by 1 in 10 of the piano teachers who have refused to take me for any more lessons. What I want you to do is just look in here for me. What I'm doing is pressing down on this pedal to my right all the way down here with my foot. This lifts the dampers or mufflers away from the string, allowing the sound to carry. It is almost universally recognised by all reputable audiences that the piano sounds much better when played without the silencers on. You wouldn't smother an opera singer with a pillow as she sang, would you? Likewise, it is not advisable to play with the dampers on. Now that we have removed the dampers, we can begin playing. Or indeed, can we? We have not yet examined the safety of playing a piano. First of all, we need to make sure that the piano is not on fire. Now, I know what you're thinking. Don't be ridiculous, Matthew. Pianos don't catch fire. Well, you see, that's where you're wrong. You see? This is not safe. Actually, this is a bit boring. Hang on, I can fix this. If your piano is on fire, you may wish to reconsider your decision to play your piano. If, however, the circumstances mean that playing your piano is unavoidable, if you have a recital or indeed a funeral to play at and you simply must play your piano, then you may wish to invest in a set of oven gloves.
Solid safety advice there.
So the piece of music that we shall be learning to play in this first introductory lesson is quite a famous piece. It's called Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven. Now, you may be thinking it's quite a difficult piece to start off with, and you'd be right, of course. It is an early advanced piano solo, as the information on the book tells us here, but I think with the right amount of perseverance we'll be able to get in all those semiquavers, all those little dotted rhythms, and all those accidental sharp notes. But what you're going to have to do is stick with me for the next 112 lessons, where we gradually unlock the secrets of Beethoven. The first secret lies for us within the title, Moonlight Sonata. What is Beethoven trying to tell us with that title? It's very obvious that he's trying to convey memories of moonlight, and it probably tells us that the piece is also a sonata. However, that is not enough for us to be going on with. We must Now, much as an artist might use paint, and much as a writer might use words, it's up to us to paint that picture of the Moonlight Sonata in the notes that we play. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift our dampers up, as we've already discussed. We are going to find our note. No, that's not a G sharp, that's a G. That's again a G. Okay. That's not right either. There we are. We have our note. Now, preparing, readying the music. We are going to first find the note that we're going to begin on. Okay, so I have my G sharp. I'm going to listen. There's my G sharp. And we're going to begin the Moonlight Sonata. Quiet, please. Well, I think that's enough to be getting on with for this week. If you all go to your pianos that you have in your living room, your kitchen, your bathroom, wherever you have your piano, and you make sure that you really practice what we've covered this week, I think that by the time we come to the next video, part 2 of how to play the piano in 2017, then we'll really have the groundwork that we need to begin making more groundwork to then eventually build the walls of musical stability. What am I talking about? This is so terrible.